Okay. So, all right. Well, let's start. We have this week's Parashat Tazria. And Parashat Tazria is interesting, nevertheless interesting. It's interesting to me because I decided to take a different path this year on Parsha Tazria. It's, especially since we have a doctor among us. A doctor. So this week's parasha very interesting in terms of what he's talking about. The parasha really concentrate on something that is in a way not so Jewish, and that's really the body, the human body, different things that come out of it, and so on and so forth. This parasha is interesting because it presents things in a different way than we used to. Well, what do I mean by that? You look at Western medicine in recent, let's say, the last 100 years, is really progressing without belief, above and beyond what was imagined, even a few years ago. Things that we're able to do today, and so on and so forth. It's a tremendous leap in terms of medicine, but yet it is somewhat helpless to many things. I mean, it's greater the unknown that is known, rather the unrevealed than the revealed when it comes down to medicine. The more you discover, the more you are like, oh yeah, I don't really know what to do with it. I think the main reason for that is the stubbornness of conventional medicine. And again, it's not that I'm underestimating that. But yeah, I think something is quite wrong and fundamentally wrong in the approach of conventional medicine. The conventional medicine along the line only takes care, or mainly takes care, or looks at the symptoms rather to try to understand what is the cause of things. And that is through almost everything we do. I mean, you have a headache, you take ibuprofen. Regardless, the point is that along the line of taking ibuprofen for a long time, for example, you can probably ruin your liver if you didn't know it, or cause internal bleeding in terms of ulcers and so on and so forth. All the Tylenols, Laminehu, will cause sometimes Netrofen and things like that, will cause irreversible damage to liver functioning and other things like that. A person who, God forbid, has cancer. So what do? We give him chemotherapy. Well, why didn't he have cancer to begin with? We're trying to see how we can cure it. Even the approach is how we're going to cure it, but not how we're going to prevent it. Why do we really get it? Okay, I can tell you that one cell all of a sudden X crazy, but really, why does it all of a sudden one cell became defective? I mean, what happened there? I mean, along the line of almost like the Big Bang Theory. I can talk about the Big Bang Theory, but what exactly happened before that? I don't know. Where those atoms come from? I'm not quite sure. But that's what happened. That's fine, But you don't really deal with the deeper. Maybe it's above and beyond us, and we can't. But I don't know. But at least we can try. I mean, it's almost like we will never be able to even start understanding such an abstract concept as God. But yet we are obligated to know it as much as we can to the best of our abilities. And it's something greater to remember. On the other side, what we call alternative medicine, which is really not really alternative, because alternative medicine was way before conventional medicine. Maybe conventional medicine is really the alternative, but what we call today alternative medicine sees the human being as a whole, as a certain entity. And slowly we start to realize that as well in conventional medicine. To those who become better doctors, the understanding that a human being is a whole thing, is not just a pain in my leg. So I am a leg. When I'm coming to the doctor, if I have a pain in my leg, I'm no more than a leg. They disregard the fact that I'm a human being behind it. the fact that sometimes lower back problems will be as a matter of stress or so on and so forth. So that they start to tell you, stress could cause you so many different things, and so on and so. But it's a tremendous thing, and they would not say it out loud. And this, I think, it may be because there is the whole business orientation of field of medicine in terms of becoming a doctor was more of like a social goal than really a desire of most people. So-called an easy way to make money rather than tremendous pure interest in one thing over another. That's why I have a lot of appreciation I have a tremendous appreciation to philosophy majors. You can't make a penny out of it. So they do that because they're really interested in that. It's, I guess, the closest you can get lishma in the secular world as you can get for Torah. Because that's the way it is. Now, our parasha deals or comes to claim that certain medical conditions are really are associated and they're really rooted in, or the source would be something spiritual or even social. And that is a new revelation looking at that. For example, the goal for that, the example for that will be the issue of tzaraat. Tzaraat, by the way, Rabotai, is not leprosy. Metzora is not a leper, because leprosy is a condition that stays with you, doesn't go away until the person is being eaten up completely. Tzaraat goes away. And tzaraat goes away based on your actions that you would do. If you would repent, as the Rambam said, if you would repent, it will go away. If not, you'll start with the house, then it'll start with then it will move to your clothes, to your skin, then move to your clothes, and then goodbye, good luck. But if at any point, if you made tshuva and you repented, the tzaraat goes away. And if you have tzaraat, more than that, if you have tzaraat, who do you go to? You go to a doctor? You go to a kohen. What does a kohen have to do with that? What is a kohen, a doctor? And if the kohen is an Am Haaretz and cannot identify between just a skin condition and true tzaraat, he goes to the Talmid Chacham. The Talmid Chacham will whisper in his ears and will say, tzaraat, not tzaraat. And the kohen will say, it is or it's not. And according to the words of the kohen, that will happen. Excuse me, what is this? No, it's a different way or different understanding that, and we need to understand why is it that physical conditions and why is it that it happens that the physical conditions are really manifested as a result of, let's say, spiritual, emotional, or social things. I'll give you an example. And as I said to you before, years ago, it was when I first read or came across the writings of the Rambam, when he talks about his medicinal writing, or when he talks about halachot deot, of how to conduct your daily routine in terms of what to eat, what not to eat, when to exercise, when to take showers, how to do all this thing, and so on and so forth. Okay, what can I tell you? It looked cute, looked interesting. I read it out of interest, but really did not speak to me as much as when I came to encounter what I call Chinese medicine or TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. Once I learned this, everything that I learned so far or knew about the Rambam makes so much more sense to me. And it was fascinating to go back to the Rambam after I already spent some time looking into reading numerous books about traditional Chinese medicine and the concept, theoretical books beyond it and so on and so forth. And I said, wow, this is fascinating. The Rambam, which lived about, 860, 900, so whatever years ago, was known to be also the personal physician of the Caliph of Egypt, the king of Egypt at the time. It is known that he was asked from the king of Arabia, since his name was really well known all in the area. It was asked by the king of Arabia to give him a cure for all his sicknesses in which he suffers, among them irregular heartbeats, problem with digestion, headaches, severe headaches, and so on and so forth. The Rambam wrote back to him, and the Rambam said to him, all your problems, all your medical problems are because of your worries, and mainly because of your great fear of death. In other words, buddy, you're too stressed. Your migraines, everything else. Now, if you look, for example, at Chinese medicine, all these things will constrict when you are getting very nervous. You flinch like this. Everything constricts to you. The flow of energy is not there. You become, and you develop tremendous stress. It's known that people that have a lot of problems with stress, they usually develop also problems with the necks, with the way they carry. I know people who were somebody who was so stressed. It happened to him a very stressful time of the year. 1 year was very stressful for him. He did not pay attention. He's carrying his shoulder up like this. He just tensed his shoulder all the time. He almost fainted one time. They thought he had a heart attack because he had such spasm in his muscle. It was stress. It's all stress. But when it happens to you, something greater happened to you. You lose your what is so-called simchat chaim, your joy of life. That lack of joy of life will destroy you. You're not happy with your life. You're not happy with what you do. You're not happy with the way you live, with the way you do things. You're not happy with the subject in which you pick to go to college for, which you're going to spend the rest of your life. What happens, you become a pack of nerves. Let's say you decided to become a lawyer because your parents want you to become a lawyer. And you're really crunching into it. And you're trying to persuade yourself the law is good, and you're able to make the case to everybody besides yourself. And you pack of nerves, and before you know, something happens to you. I don't know, you get sick, or you know what, it will affect your eyesight. It will affect everything in you. And you say that you find your excuse why not to go to medical, to law school or whatever. You just hate it. You really wanted to be a history professor. You know, your passion wasn't there. You were stressed. It killed you. That lack of simcha, lack of happiness will kill you. Depression will kill you. Depression is viewed, by the way, in Chinese medicine, in China, as I said to you before, you'll find very few psychiatrists, because the Chinese view all mental disorders to be a manifestation of tremendous internal imbalance. And they would treat it in that manner. By giving herbs that will stimulate certain things, by removing blockage of energy in your body and so on and so forth, which is fascinating. What does it tell you? It tells you exactly what the Parsha is trying to tell you. All your condition as they manifest outside, your physiological conditions, are many times a result of something internal. And this is what it says in this, for example, in this Parsha. About Sarat. Sarat and all the other things that come out of your body are a manifestation of something wrong inside of you. That lack of simcha, of joy. You know, things are hard for us. Life is hard. But life is not so bad. If I will tell you, how is your life? Tell me, well, 50-50. 50 good, 50 bad. So I said to him, why you worry about what's bad? Well, nothing really is bad, but I heard things are going to be so bad in the future. And I get really ticked off at especially at rabbis that implant fear into people instead of enhancing their emunah. And I'm going to explain to you why. Let's say, for example, I'll give you an example of a boxer. Okay? You have a boxer, he goes to the gym, he knows, he's walking from the street, he goes to the gym. What is his most for sure thing that's going to happen to him today when he walks into the door? He's going to get beaten up. He's going to get punched. He's going to get beaten up. He's going to get hammered. And he's happy about it. He's okay with this. Why? Because he knows that all this beating up and all these exercises that he's doing now would really benefit him at the moment of truth when he's going to go to the ring.